Hello, and welcome back to another episode of Voice of the Rings. I'm your host and guide, Zolan Ironshield. Alright, you guys, so we're here in the Market of Rivendell. Last time we talked to one of the Forge Masters here in Rivendell, who said he needed a certain stone to reforge Narsil for Aragorn. Aragorn also tasked us with talking to Elrond in the last homely house. So that's where we're going to go right now. But I'd like to let you see a little bit of Rivendell as we go, since we are enjoying it. Enjoy this awesome music. Give a little view of the Rivendell here. I know where to go, so I'll turn off the mini-map and stuff so you guys can just see. There's a little market of Rivendell. So let's head to the last homely house. So, yes, Rivendell is rather large, actually. It's pretty big. It takes a good minute or two to get across the whole thing, especially if you know the way you're going. You can easily get lost. I think we have to go up and around this passage here, because there's a lot of rivers and dips and so if you go up that passage, it actually leads to the opening pass that goes out to the northern Misty Mountains, where you get to help a lot of the dwarves, and it's just really cool. There's giants up there, and there's giant bears, and it's really cool area. There's these abominable snowman creatures. I forget what they're called, but they're pretty cool. We'll get to see those in probably a future episode as well. We'll check that out. So there's the passage we came in from, the secret passage up there. See the little pathway? That's the secret passage we came down. That's the river it goes out. So again, this is a secret valley, right? Protected by the elves. And the magic of the elves. This place is a refuge from the troubles of the outside world. Alright, we'll go over this bridge here. That is very dark. I don't know what's happening there. Is it just not loading? Let's look away and look back. See if it loads. Huh. Something is happening with that thing. It's not loading correctly. It's really too dark. Something is happening. Maybe it's just the lighting. Maybe that's because the light's hitting it. So welcome to the front of the last homely house. It's really pretty. Listen to those waterfalls, man. Just roar. Going all through the whole. Look at that. There's an awesome little view right there. The last homely house. Pretty cool. Alright, let's go in and talk to Elrond. The last homely house, everyone. Welcome. It's like a freaking museum. It's awesome. Look at that. I believe Elrond is in the library, which is upstairs over here. There's some dwarves here. There's a hobbit. Bilbo is here, by the way, you guys. We'll probably get to see Bilbo. It's like an opening to the ceiling and a tree inside. That's so cool. Probably like a mallard tree or whatever. They really like those trees, the elves. Elrond's library. Now, as you can see behind me, I really like books, and I have a big book section over here. But to have a library like this, that's epic. Look at all those books. I don't even want to talk because I don't want to break the amazing ambience of that music. Ah, Lord Elrond. We are Zolan Ironshield.
Dark days are coming.
Dark days are coming. That's the voice they gave Elrond, half elven. So I will try to do the one they sort of gave him. Even though in the movie I believe his voice is a bit higher. But we might give it a more majestic sound than their voice actor. Dark days are coming. The path you look to my doorstep has been perilous. The path you took to my doorstep has been perilous, Solon, and its dangers all too common in these dark days. If you will consent to lend us your aid, it will not be the least of your challenges.
Will you lend me your aid once more?
Will you lend me your aid once more? Welcome to Imladris, Solon. It is good to have... good that you have come. Rest well, but not too deeply or too long. We have need of adventuring folk. For there is evil beyond the veil. Not more than 2 months ago, a hobbit by the name of Frodo Baggins and his companions were pursued to the ford of Baruna by servants of the enemy. I speak of the Nine, the Nazgul, fell creatures in the service of Sauron, and though the Baruna fell upon them at my command, we have found the steeds of only 8. One of the riders is unaccounted for. Quick little history, guys. When that wave hit them, it destroyed their physical form, so they were sent back to Mordor because they're tied to the ring because they're half living, half dead, like spirits, the wraiths, right? So what they're saying here is one of their horses all died though because they were just these undead creature horses, but they just died, right? But they only found 8 of them, so there's another one that supposedly didn't get killed, a wraith, so they're worried about it in the lore of this. I don't think this is in the book. This is added into because we're adventuring along the main line of the book, and we're kind of doing this with our character, right? We're weaving in and out of the main story plot, right? That's a little history for you guys so you can kind of understand. All right. My sons set forth with scouts beyond to them by friendship to seek this missing rider. I ask that you speak with Eladin at their camp of Thorenhad among the Baruna Gorges, and lend your aid to the search. We must learn where the Nazgul has gone, and most importantly, his designs. Yes, Master Elrond, we'd be happy to help. Alright, you guys, sweet. So we're actually gonna go back into the troll shaws, so I probably will get to show you the awesome, the stone statues of Bilbo, right? The trolls. Let's go out here real quick. East Porch. Let's just do a little exploring for fun. See some stuff. Look at that. This is one of their porches in the back. These have these awesome freaking waterfalls to look at. That's awesome. Boy, is that cicada loud, though. Let's just pop that cicada down there a little bit, because that is loud. Wow. Beautiful. Alright. Should we pop by and say hi to Bilbo Baggins? I believe he is down here. Lord Elrond seems troubled. I wonder why. Those are the trolls, by the way. The Hall of Fire. Another awesome. I mean, look at the floor. Do you guys see the reflection? Do you see the roof? Look when I move. See the reflection of the roof? It's freaking awesome. That's quite a polished floor, my friends. That's about as polished you're gonna get stone. She's wearing moccasins too. She's gonna slip. Look, it's Bilbo Baggins! Hello, Bilbo. Oh, we can't interact with him. We don't have a quest yet to interact with him. The Hall of Fire is a place to reflect upon your thoughts. Agreed. You know, fun little story. In high school, I used to be doing homework, and I would actually go back to my little private house in Lord of the Rings Online, turn the game on with the background music because I enjoyed it and it was just nice, and I just sit there and do homework, like in the game, like my character just like reading a fake book. Well, I was like reading books in real life in my room. Fun little thing. I remember I did that in high school. Maybe when I thought about it, I started laughing. The fun things we would figure out to do to make homework more fun when we were young, right? I still love to learn, though. I love to learn. But occasionally, you get tired of learning. Especially on a subject you might be learning a lot of that you don't want to be learning a lot of. Alright, so we need to talk to Elrond. I'm going to go ahead and ride over so you can see Rivendell a little bit more instead of doing a teleport. It's nighttime now, so I look at those beautiful like clouds. They're like purple. It's pretty cool. So this is the bridge, obviously, and I think we're gonna actually make this our home here. Find that. This is the Bridge of Rivendell. Look at that. Isn't that cool? That's a great shot right there. I love that. This is a cool shot like this. Hello over there! I can wave. Oh, well, I can't. It won't let me click. Anyway, it's a cool spot. Let's go talk to Elrond. I mean, not Elrond. Aragorn one more time for that Narsil quest. Because remember, he couldn't forge it because he doesn't have the certain stone. I forget what it was called. A something stone? I forget the name right now. But let's go back and talk to Elrond. What does this guy have for us? Greetings, friend. And welcome to Imladris.
Stay a moment.
Stay a moment. Oh, I was pretty close to avoid his voice anyway. Stay a moment. Are you here at the behest of the Rangers? Perhaps you would like to aid us in patrolling these lands. One of our scouts, Alflance, guards the last bridge from the Lone Lands into the Trollshaws. You should speak with her and learn how you might aid her. You will travel to the last bridge immediately when you accept this quest. That is why, my friends, we read the bottom note in red before you click accept on some quests, because that would have been annoying. We'll come back in a second to do that, because it will help us get there faster, but I first want to get the thing from Aragorn. See, what they're doing is they're trying to make it easier for you to finish these little chapter quests, and then remember Aragorn told us to go back to the Trollshaws to do those quests, so then we'll actually have to do some Trollshaw quests, because we need to get our level up, because now the book 4 chapter 1 here actually says it's for level 37, so we'll do some quests in the Trollshaws. Let's talk to Aragorn real quick.
Greetings.
Greetings. You have returned from speaking with Hemeldir. What did he have to say about the forging of Narsil? I see. Mehelmdir is a fine smith, but he shares the dour outlook of his people. If he needs a Silithar to reforge the sword of Elendil, we will find for him a Silithar. Sweet, I like it.
Greetings.
Greetings. Greetings. When I was very young, my father Arathorn was slain by orcs, and my mother brought me to stay here at Rivendell. I was called Estelle by my mother Gilrayan. I'm trying to remember her name. Mother Gilrayan. And by all those who dwelt in the Vale. And I rode far afield, seeking adventure with the sons of Elrond. I considered him my father as much as did Eladin and Elrohir. At the age of 12, Lord Elrond took me aside and told me my true name and of my heritage, that I descended in an unbroken line from Eladin of old. He gave to me the ring of Barahir and the shards of Narsil. The ring of Barahir is in the movie. Remember, it's the two serpents, one devouring the other. Remember, Saruman talks about it. But yeah, moving on. Shards of Narsil, but he withheld the scepter of Anumenos, which is another thing that they don't really talk about in the movie, which is like the ruling scepter of Arnor. It's like that you're the ruler of Arnor, like the scepter, right? The kings hold a scepter usually, right? Everyone out there, everyone, it's like a stick that's like gold inlaid and all this pretty stuff on it, like a metal. Yeah. Anyway, that's for people who don't know what that might be. Scepter of Numinos, saying I had yet to earn it. He withheld, too, another treasure, but I will not speak of that. I bet he's talking about Arwen. What do you bet? Soon after, I went in search of a Silithar with which Narsil might be reforged. Yes, I knew then of the ancient Silithar. I think I'm saying that right. Silithar. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's right. Silithar. And of the need for one. But I was young, and I did not pass the test that was set before me. The time had not come for Narsil's remaking. I have a message for Master Elrond. Bring it to him faithfully and return with his words, and I will better know how to proceed. Here is my message. I know now what Gwyndeth sought of me in the watery darkness, and I am prepared to give it. Eladin was a wiser man than I. I await your return, Zolin. We'll be happy to help, Aragon. That is someone who is a Bjorn, and that is a very big bear. Hello, bear. Okay. Alright, so they want us to talk to Elrond again, so I don't want to teleport yet until we finish this, because we might be sent to the brothers to help find the stone. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a teleport back to Elrond, you guys. So, Baruch Khazad! Alright, guys, we're back at Elrond here in the library. Hello, Master Elrond.
Will you lend me your aid once more?
Will you lend me your aid once more? Aragon has traveled many roads since his early failure in the tomb of his great ancestor. What would Gwyndeth make of him now, I wonder? You look puzzled, young one. Do not despair. I will explain my words to you, and give counsel to him whom I once called Estelle. That's cool. So he's really like Aragorn's adopted dad, too, which is pretty cool in the book. I like that.
Hope is not in vain.
Hope is not in vain. Aragon came to us when he was only 2 years of age. His father, Arathorn, having been slain by the arrows of the orcs, Gilrain feared for her child's safety, and brought him to Imladris, seeking to keep the fact of his birth from the eyes of the enemy. I bade Gilrain keep him his true name and lineage secret, and she called him instead Estelle, or Hope, in Elvish, or I think it's Elvish. When he reached 20 years of age, I saw that he had come early to manhood, and I gave to him knowledge of his lineage, and the name his father had given him, Aragon, a strong name. Full of hope was he on that day, but he soon would be laid low with a love far above his station. For walking in the woods near sunset of the next day, he encountered Arwen, my daughter, and was stricken with love for her. I do not know why he went to Numinos, but I always believed he made the journey to prove to himself he was worthy of loving such a maid. He went to the ancient city, long deserted, in the company of my sons, and with Calenglad, a ranger that came at times to Imladris. Calenglad did not return from Aragon's journey to the city of his fathers, and when next I saw Aragon, the experience had left its mark upon him. Return to Aragon and tell him that I agree the time has come for Narsil to be reforged, and I will give to it a new name, Anduril, the Flame of the West. We will have need of its light before the end. Ooh, it's giving me chills with that music and the story. It's pretty awesome. think I like the voice I'm using for Elrond. I'm trying to take the voice actor they have, but that's why I'm just manipulating it a little bit because I don't really... I feel like it needed a little bit more. So we're going to go back to Aragon. So we will do another teleport back to Aragon so we can finish this up. Be awesome. Loading, loading. Anyway, I'll see you in a second. Baruch Khazad! Alright guys, we're back to Aragon.
Greetings.
Greetings. I am glad that Master Elrond agrees with my decision, for his counsel is near to my heart. It is true that I journeyed in my youth to Anuminos, the city of my fathers. Even then, it had stood empty for long years, but it was once the shining jewel of my people, and I desired to see it with my own eyes. I thought, too, that if I recovered the Silithar that lay within Anuminos, the only one of the stones to remain in this bend of the world, I might reforge Narsil and prove myself worthy of the fate to which I had been born. Eladin and Elrohir accompanied me on the journey to Evendim, and my kinsman Calenglad also. He had sworn an oath to my father and renewed it in my name before we departed. Much of the city had already been reclaimed by the waters of the lake Nennulian when we arrived, and I despaired of finding the Silithar within the flooded tomb where it lay. But lo, the maiden Gwendeth appeared before us and charged me with a task to prove my worthiness of receiving the Silithar. My youthfulness betrayed me. Though I had the form of a man, I had not the wisdom of experience, and Gwithden found me wanting. The Silithar was not to be mine that day. When I stood before the flooded passages of Lendil's empty tomb on the outskirts of Anuminos, I believed it right that Narsil be reforged. I could not understand why Gwendeth refused me access to the Silithar. Now I believe I understand.
Greetings.
Greetings. Long years have passed, and I have not seen Calenglad since that day. He did not return with me. He had become enamored of Gwendeth and Lake Nennuiel, and chose to remain behind. I offered to free him from his oath to me, but he refused, saying, "You are my lord, and have power over me. But I ask that you allow me to remain here. I will keep watch over the city and safeguard the lake until such time as you return. In this way, I will uphold my oath." Calenglad has remained at Tinuder. Tinuder. How do you say that? Tinuder. I think it's like Tinuder. Yeah, Tinuder. Ever since. I would rejoice to speak with him again, but preparations are underway for a journey of great danger and importance, more importance even than the reforging of Narsil, and I cannot journey to Anuminos. But you, my friend, you can bring to Calenglad my words and tell him that we now have true need for the Silithar, where once we did not. Cool. You see where we're getting tied in the story, guys? Pretty cool. Bring this letter to Calenglad, Zolan, and remember that you act in my stead. You are my agent to Tinuder, an island on the eastern shores of Lake Nennuiel. I said it so good a second ago. Nennuiel in Evendim, and we speak with one voice. Always remember that respect cannot be bought, but must be earned. Do not undervalue it, and we shall yet see Anduril forged from the shards of Narsil. Sweet, we shall do that, Aragon. Alright, you guys, so now we're being sent to Evendim. You see what's going on here? We could go to Evendim, and we have to go to the Troll Shards for both things. The Evendim one is lower level. So what I'm thinking to do, guys, is for our next episode is I think we'll actually go to the Evendim one and do this Fords of Narsil one first, because it's lower level area than the Troll Shaws, I believe, or they're similar. I'll have to think it over for the next episode. We'll figure it out. But let's just take this guy because he'll teleport us there. Or actually, you know what? Let's not take this quest right now, because I can teleport back to Rivendell later and then take this. There we go. So I think we'll end right here, looking out over Rivendell. This beautiful place in Middle-earth. And I want to thank you all for joining me, your host and guide, Zolan Ironshield. And in the next episodes, we are going to be helping reforge Narsil by finding the special stone, the Silithar stone, which is in the Numenos in Evendim, the region, which we are going to see. That'll be exciting because I really want to go there, so we are going to go there. And then we'll be going through the Troll's Jaws and helping Elrond's sons with the chapter finding that missing ring wraith that wasn't destroyed by the flood during the flood of Ford of the Bruna. So that'll be exciting, everyone. I'll see you in the next episodes. And I'm your host and guide, Zolan Ironshield. See you in the next one.